City volunteers in Taichung reach out to a solitary senior with a serious hoarding problem. We meet an indigenous artist who turns dragon bone stones into beautiful artworks. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. Taichung City volunteers received a request from the Pancha bureau chief in regards to a 75-year-old grandmother. She's a solitary senior that has a hoarding problem. It's gotten so bad that her whole house has been filled with recyclable items. Due to unsanitary habits, it has caused many concerns within the community. Let's take a look at how city volunteers handle the delicate situation.
你今摆种啥物？
我今摆要来路口等迄个提粪水。
哦，你用这部的哦，真巧呢。
啊，无就搁搬几部呢。哎呦喂！哎呦，这么冷的天。
In such cold weather conditions, how is she just doing that, with her legs bent and just laying there?
She's always sleeping outside. She often scares people, you know.
She can sleep while sitting lying down, right next to the busy road, even on top of the sewage covers.
The people in the building came to tell me that they were going to force her out for being such a bad neighbor. I pitied her. It was her home. The house was purchased by her. However, they wanted her out, but then she would have nowhere to live. So I thought, let me go ask for Tzu Chi's help in dealing with this situation, see if it's possible to slowly talk some sense into her.
She had so much recyclable goods piled up in her home that it was impossible for her to live inside. People were also saying that she would just openly urinate and defecate anywhere near here.
The first time visiting here, seeing all the recyclable goods piled everywhere, it was quite a sight. I thought to myself, wow, how is it possible for such a small grandmother to collect so many items? It's piled higher than 180 centimeters adult.
If we only come to help her clean once in a while, it would be the equivalent of a cleaning brigade. That has no real meaning behind it. However, a couple of days before we came back to clean, it kept on raining. And since the grandma cannot physically sleep inside her own home, she was bound to sleep under just the roof covering part. When you see an elderly in that kind of condition, it's really heartbreaking. Everyone would have the same reaction, just heartbreaking.
这床上原来是堆满东西。
对啊，都没办法睡啊，堆到门口啦，啊，人睡到屋外去啦。
You see, she's doing a lot better now. She's keeping it quite clean still. All volunteers took a long time scrubbing the walls clean.
会当洗身躯啊啦，我昨下就去洗头毛。
迄原本你嘛是做侪物件，你迄边袂当洗身躯啊。
现在也袂使，今仔会使，今仔变身躯会使。
嘛有所在通困啊吼。啊，无有时阵你是啊人捡的物件，你嘛食哦。你嘛食哦？
你啊看好的物件，我会哪袂惊？
我问你，你为虾米爱才过来捡回收？
无捡无分人吃。你这样讲，你有厝袂使啊？你这种人就袂该天天过多。啊，房子也不能咬，也不能吃。
在看个案的时候，2252块，啊是你要咱住的。
案主呢，今年已经75岁，他又。
She has two sons. We're hoping that maybe later on it will be possible for her children to be by her side, to come back and care for her. This still needs a lot of work and communication. We will continue to stay in contact with them and see if we can slowly reduce the distance between the mother and her adult children.
City volunteers in Dalian, Liaoning province mobilized to clean up a dilapidated home. Members of this family are either ill or mentally challenged. City volunteers also fixed the flooring, bring love to the family.
没见过有这样的家，我心里挺难过的，真的挺难过的。我第一次来访
The first time I visited, there was a pungent smell when I opened the door. It was so strong that I wanted to vomit. I'm not a person who fears dirt, but I really couldn't handle the smell.
Chen Lina's family of 3 includes her husband, who is seriously ill, has been hospitalized, her husband's brother, who is mentally challenged. She herself is struggling with cataracts in one eye, and her other eye is blind. Her home is so dirty, 19 volunteers were mobilized to clean it.
In the process of cleaning up, there were lots of cockroaches and piles of garbage. The floorboards fell loose, and it's dirty and also has the smell of urine. I'm healthy, so I feel a need to help them.
The floor of this room was refurbished, and the garbage was all carried out by volunteers. Everything was moved down to the first floor, and the stairwell and rooftop were also cleaned.
We moved out all of the unnecessary things from this house. Everyone now is very happy. I want Lina and her family to have a clean living environment.
A lot of the volunteers are over the age of 70. I'm very touched by them. They came in and put on some clothes and gloves and immediately started working. I've never felt so much compassion. That is really true. Helping people is such a good thing to do.
家里你的房间现在那个地板是不是换了？换新的了，你喜不喜欢？喜欢。喜欢，你从今以后你是不是应该爱护它？
Chen Lina is a donating member of Tzu Chi and still wants to do more.
I want to follow these volunteers. If there's anything I can do, I'll do it. I also want to help those in need.
This home hasn't only become brighter, but also happier with more love.
At the 2018 Taiwan Auto Show, manufacturers showcase equipment, accessories, and clothing for camping, mountaineering, and water activities. Among the manufacturers, DaAi Technology won 3 awards for its products. The 5.2-meter swimming pool combines music, spa function, and water resistance training. It helps people improve their endurance, which is needed in triathlons.
Besides running, the user can also do all sorts of aerobic exercises with it. Since water is buoyant, when one runs in water, it can be beneficial to those who have knee problems.
At the Taiwan Outdoor Show, those who love camping may be interested in a special electric blanket. While traditional blankets may have a problem with hot wires and uneven distribution of heat, the new product uses heat-tech fiber. It can bend and also saves energy.
The traditional electric blankets might be small and uses as much electricity as 120 watts. A light bulb uses about 60 watts of electricity per hour. The new electric blanket uses as much energy as a light bulb.
With an appearance similar to a regular backpack, it can turn into a chair that can bear weight up to 1,000 kilograms. DaAi Technology products caught the attention of the Taiwan Outdoor Brand Competition judges and snatched 3 awards.
第3个得奖的品项是大爱感恩科技股份有限公司的慈悲科技系列。
These can be used in daily life. In cases of disasters, they can become the equipment for the disaster relief team members. We hope that by joining competitions like this, we can promote an eco-friendly lifestyle and combine charity and technology.
Multifaceted development and combining charity and technology will help people understand the benefits of an eco-friendly lifestyle. In January of this year, city volunteers in Indonesia collaborated with the military to renovate a kindergarten. Since the school's roof was in need of repair, the school was flooded whenever it rained. After 10 months of renovation, the school has a brand new look. In January of this year, city volunteers accompanied the military personnel to assess the local school's conditions. Back then, the school environment was quite messy. The desks and chairs were damaged, and the roof and floors were in need of repairs. On top of all that, the classes were suspended whenever it rained.
Salah satunya adalah ketika hujan. The school gets flooded when it rains because the ground is 1 meter lower than the road. Therefore, if it rains, the school will automatically be flooded.
Yang penting satu, We need to improve the drainage system in order to solve the flooding problem.
Salurannya harus yang baik. Jadi jangan sampai
2 years ago, the school was forced to close down because no students were willing to come to school. After 10 months of repair work, the Kartika kindergarten has a brand new look. The school now has blue roof, gray walls, brand new desks and chairs, and a clean and bright outdoor space. Besides the facilities, there will also be higher quality teachers at the kindergarten.
We want to learn from Tzu Chi's education mission and see how we can incorporate humanitarian education in every grade.
We can train the teachers so they will become outstanding instructors with humanistic characters.
After renovation, the kindergarten currently has 9 classrooms, 1 main office, and 3 multi-purpose rooms. The community residents are also looking forward to the reopening of the kindergarten. It's been over 3 weeks since a devastating earthquake struck Indonesia. Many schools in the disaster areas were damaged, so classes had to be suspended. Now many of those schools have resumed class, but everything has to take place in poorly ventilated tents or sitting on the ground outdoors. The environment is quite difficult for the teachers and students, but they're staying optimistic.
Sitting quietly in the tent, the light coming in from the window, diligently copying the contents of the teacher's lecture. It's been officially over 3 weeks since the devastating Sulawesi earthquake hit, and many schools in the disaster areas have resumed. However, the students can only study in makeshift classrooms.
It's much more comfortable studying in the classroom, because there we would have tables and chairs. We don't have that in the tent. It's also very hot in here. Everyone has to kneel forward to take notes.
According to the statistics from the Indonesian National Agency for Disaster Management, a total of 442 schools were damaged in the disaster, affecting the education opportunities of around 180,000 students. Although several schools have resumed classes after the disaster, many parents are still full of worries.
It's been a while that we've stopped classes. Now classes have resumed. However, there are many parents who are still very worried about their child's safety, so they are not willing to let their children return to school. I really hope that all the students can come back quickly so that they will have the encouragement and comfort of the teachers and classmates.
The principal's confident encouragements greatly adds to the child's willingness to go back to school. Even if the classrooms are outdoors, there aren't any complaints.
Being back to studying in classes, I can both learn and chat with my fellow classmates. I'm very happy.
Despite the harsh environment, the children are all still willing to learn. This is a very positive sight to see. It's with great hope that this optimism will help them walk out the shadows as soon as possible.
Yuan Wenhong is from the Bunong tribe and grew up in Nantou Xingyi mountain region. From childhood, he would look for dragon bone stones which came from these mountains. After moving to the city, he has begun to artistically transform these unique stones for others.
This bronze-colored dragon bone stone is a unique mineral found only in Taiwan.
I found many useful resources in the mountain. It's just up to us to find ways to make use of these materials.
Yuan Wenhong is from the Bunun tribe and grew up in the Xingyi mountainous area of Nantou. He loved to search for this rare mineral in Zhousui River. He later used his creativity to polish and craft this dragon bone stone to become a necklace of great value.
The oil on my body will be sucked in by the stone. This rubbing action on my body will make it become brighter and brighter.
After years of being washed in the river, each stone has a unique look.
If you don't get the detail work right, then later it could potentially begin to break down later.
Paying attention to detail and maintaining high standards in his work, Yuan never rushes his work, as some may not understand the incredible amount of care he puts into each artwork.
Everyone is hurrying to finish and sell these pieces, but I worry that after they are sold in a week or two, it will deteriorate and revert to the original unpolished look.
His 6-year-old son has been battling leukemia for more than 3 years. He has had to shuttle in and out of hospitals, which is part of a routine. He also has to care for his daughter, which is just over 1 year old. This couple's income isn't stable, and they face almost daily pressure in life. Tzu Chi volunteers have accompanied this family when their son was undergoing chemotherapy and never expected him to also desire to donate a little money to charity.
He put money into this bamboo coin bank to help others. I feel very touched by this. If you donate $1 each day, you gain a blessing and will become better very soon.
If my handicrafts get a little better, I want to drive him around to different places around Taiwan and sell my goods.
While his son is busy fighting his disease, Yuan is also trying to improve his creative skills, as he hopes to one day achieve his goal of becoming a successful artist.
In 1988, Dr. Zhen Shouxing left Taipei and went to the remote areas of Hualien, Taiwan. In the past 30 years, he has worked in Dalian and Taichung City hospitals. He has also been to many countries to participate in disaster relief team-up-free clinics. Now he has put all of his domestic and international medical practice experiences and stories into a book.
Respirator 悠悠学满地 ，respirator 就是呼吸器的意思，夜不寐，教授白发马痛泪。
Behind each humorous and interesting story are actual life and death moments in front of the operating table. At the end of each story, one can always feel the full human touch between the doctors and the patients. In 1988, Dr. Zhen Shouxing left Taipei and headed to the remote area of Hualien. Ever since then, his doctor's office was no longer a small clinic room, but more so a patient's dwelling, even an international free clinic.
In the communities, the society as a whole are filled with individuals that are on the edge of falling prey to a variety of illnesses. So they need us to go to them to care for their situations. We need to let this type of care be a norm so that it doesn't become a care that came too late. Medicine is definitely not just caring for the patient on the bedside. It's so much more than that.
The accumulation of all the rich experiences in disaster relief missions, combined with regular charitable medical services, it's easier to see the various needs of the patients. Looking back on the last 30 years, Dr. Zhen Shouxing's medical journey has been well documented in both the TV show All About Health and various publications. All the medical stories are always told with a witty narrative.
What he has been exposed to in the working environment, the interactions between a variety of individuals, he then comes back and relates it to his own life story. So whatever stories he writes will inevitably be intensely moving.
The most basic traits one must have to be a good doctor is the human touch. Then it's the medical skills. That's why when you see him promoting Tzu Chi's medical mission, humanistic culture is always present. Through his story sharing process, it always evokes the compassion and caring souls of each individual.
In Dr. Zhen Shouxing's heart, the hospital is a place full of stories. Even after seeing everything there's about the cycle of life and death, he has never once lost his initial vow of being the one that the patients can fully rely on.
According to the statistics of Ministry of Health and Welfare, the cancer death rate for patients in eastern and southern Taiwan is higher than that of northern Taiwan. The reasons include that many elderly cancer patients in remote regions need to travel for more than 2 hours to reach the hospital. Such long commutes often lead them to give up the treatment. At the bus station, cancer patient Grandma Home is waiting and taking the bus by herself to travel from Mudan to Antai Tianshan Memorial Hospital. This trip takes almost 2 hours. Besides her, colon cancer patient Mr. Shao also faces a similar problem.
For me to drive my truck from my home to Changgang Memorial Hospital, it takes about 2.5 hours. The round trip takes as long as 5 hours.
Formosa Cancer Foundation has taken a survey of 200 elderly cancer patients like Mr. Shao, and more than 60% of them travel for at least 2 hours to reach the hospital. 42% of the patients live by themselves, and nearly 30% of them are cared for by another elderly person. More than 80% of them need to ride a vehicle or take public transportation to reach the hospital.
Since I suffer from colon cancer post-surgery bowel dysfunction, I cannot take the bus. Therefore, I still need to drive.
30 to 40% of the patients in southern and eastern Taiwan have a higher cancer death rate than those in northern Taiwan. The medical resources are in fact evenly available throughout Taiwan. The difference is the patient's willingness to seek medical attention, and it has to do with financial condition and their distance from the hospital.
Every year, at least 4,000 elderly cancer patients face the problem of long commutes to the hospital. Therefore, Formosa Cancer Foundation hopes to raise the public awareness of such problem. In Taiwan, to care for community seniors, Tzu Chi has set up care stations in various places. 2 such care stations in Miaoli and Taichung officially opened on Double Ninth Festival. Rixiang Community Long-Term Care Center officially opened at a grounds that promotes vegetarianism.
I hope everyone can pay attention to their health, combining organic food, vegetarianism, and health regimens.
We follow the principles of nature, health, and happiness. With the help of great love, we can provide more services to more people.
The park owner said that she's happy that she can follow Tzu Chi's footsteps and do something for seniors in the community. There are natural scenes in the park, with the rice stalks moving along with the wind. The seniors are drawing under the shade of a tree, becoming closer to nature.
I encourage all the long-term care institutes provide open areas or natural scenery to the community seniors or their families.
Tzu Chi's long-term care station in Miaoli has also officially opened. There will be a case manager at the care station who provides for the seniors' needs. In addition, a variety of classes will be offered for the seniors to learn and grow. In order to improve the quality of medical communication, Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital held a special patient safety event. Even a fun game was held to educate the public.
The Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital held a special patient safety event to allow people the chance to learn about their own medical information and how to effectively communicate with medical staff.
The safety of patients is something that everyone needs to come together and work on. You should know what you need and communicate this to your doctor. This will help the doctor know your preferences to give you the best treatment.
It's very good. You can learn a lot. Thank you.
In addition to this fun game to teach the public, there are also public health lectures. There are also simple cases which can teach people about the Patient Autonomy Act, which is expected to be enacted next year.
Often patients don't want treatment, but family members don't agree. Families may do this, which may violate patients' wishes. If a consensus is reached after consultation, the public can sign advance medical instructions. It's a legal procedure that can be attached to the health insurance card and will be legally binding.
Through these health education lectures and related activities, the hospital hopes to improve communications to lift the quality of medical care to the public.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Vietnam recently distributed scholarships to a total of 636 students. These scholarship recipients also adopted coin banks, ready to save up to help other people in need. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.